Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 2A Radio. 2A Radio is the African Actions Network radio and television station. We are sitting here for this evening from my end, and I hope each and every one of you who are joining us, you will participate on our program today. Today, we decided to discuss something very important, and that borders governance in Liberia. And specifically, we will add a piece, and that is to discuss a constitutional provision of the Liberian Constitution. We want to look at the foundation of Liberia for a little bit. I know most of you who have grown up, you understand the foundation of Liberia, but we want to look at the foundation of Liberia in context, specifically looking at the preamble of the Constitution of Liberia. And by that, we ask the question, why should people continue to elect governments? Why continue to change governments in Liberia and no better life for citizens? Those who are surviving by the grace of God. When it's election, everybody get on the field, run campaign, wear t-shirts, get the money, and after it all, the expectations of the people are not met. What are the problems? Do we need a national conference to define what governance is? What is expected for people who get elected to government to serve? What do they need to know to serve? It's a critical question because from the foundation of Liberia, there have been different leadership. But yet, from 1847 up to this time, Liberia is not a country that people can be proud of and say our lives are changed. We live in a better life. Today we are discussing about the price of rice. People are talking about machines. But after all of this, it's just all about noise. Like a group of people who do not plan in line with the functions of government, the functions of their offices. Someone is an agriculture minister, what he or she need to know so that the performance will be outstanding to Liberians. So what are some of the problems? I sometimes I sit outside of Liberia and I think about that country because this is a global village. The reason why we keep discussing about Liberia is because Liberia is part of the Committee of Nations. And you cannot sit and you don't act positively, you don't change lives of people in Liberia. That borders other country and other people resources. People go out there and beg for resources, beg for whatever material they beg for. Why should other countries better the condition of their citizens and Liberia cannot? And we all get the same old head on our shoulders. So for me, I feel strongly that we do not understand the foundation of the country. Those who came before, those who laid the foundation of that country, those who cut trees and dug the ground and decided to build infrastructure. If some of them were ever to come back and ask the question, what happened to Liberia? Can Joseph Boakai, president, now explain to J.J. Robert, say the country you left, this is how far we have brought it? Or will he be scratching his head and say, oh, you know, we've been suffering, we're going to civil war and all of this stuff, and there will be no explanation? So but Joseph J.J. Robert and Stephen Ale Benson and all the other president, past president came today and asked Joseph Boakai, what is your stewardship like for the first 3 months in government? What can Joseph Boakai say? His ministerial cabinet, what can they say? The Speaker of the House of Representatives. Why if Richard Henry, was it Richard Henry? Those former speakers came and had a conference with him. Funati Kofa, you are the Speaker of the House. What is your stewardship? Since you became Speaker, what have you done? So that people in Liberia can see the balance of power and they can believe that this government can save the day, can rescue the mission that it came to do. Suppose someone like Johnny Lewis and all other chief justices came and went to the judiciary and went to ask those people, what have you been doing? What are the innovative laws or interpretative procedure have you carried on to better Liberia? What can they say? Well, today I just thought in my mind, said because some of the foundational issue is that even our laws of the land, we do not read it, especially those who are in authority. I'm not very sure now. This is not to tell people don't know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. But sometimes people need to take the time and read the very pieces of law that they met on the book. New ideas will spring out of these communications, these pieces of information. But if you, for example, the Constitution, how many of us today, I was just thinking and say, you know what? Let me read the preamble of the Constitution. Maybe there's a message in there that can help us to understand some of the foundational issue of Liberia. I don't know about you. I don't know whether you something and say, let me pick up my Constitution and read. Especially legislators, senators, representatives, and then the president, all the cabinet ministers and everybody, to pick up the Constitution and say, you know what, even though this is a common book that we all see around here, but that's the foundation of our land. I need to look at it. And maybe some of the famous ideas, their original intention is written. You can be able to see something in it. You can apply it to your ministry or agency, or the president can decide to say, you know why, this is what we have. And I think I understand this phrase is strong enough. I can dwell my country, my government on this foundation. But if you don't think to even pick up the Constitution to read, everybody feel that they know everything in Liberia. And that's the sad thing about it. Knowledge must be found. Knowledge is information. It's synonymous to information. When you don't know, you don't know it. But you must find it. If you don't go out there to seek knowledge, to look for it, you're not going to know it. You will pretend all day long. You're not going to know it. And that's the problem in Liberia. Everybody feel they are constitutionalists. They are senior government officials. They know too much government. They're more than Socrates and Plato. And so they can do everything. When they get on social media, like they understand what they're discussing. Sometimes you just take a time. If you have a piece of law, read and read. It's difficult to understand a piece of information that's been passed to you through laws. But out of curiosity, you just read one piece of legislation, you might get the idea of what people wanted. Sometimes the general thought. And I always told people, I say, even the preachers, they do the same thing. Pastors and other people, most of the pastors, don't just say pastors, most of the pastors. I know they say John 3:16, the way it was interpreted yesterday is the same way people want to take it. People don't take that time to read and understand. Reading is different from reading for understanding. Knowledge is information. You don't have information, you're just blind. So the first thing for me is sometimes with my own little thought. Anytime I'm thinking of an idea and I don't know it, I want to find the sources of the information and give myself an idea and then move ahead. But if you don't go look for information, you feel you get knowledge, you're so smart. No, you are not. That is the foundation of Liberia's problem. People pretend to know and they don't know it. And nobody is willing to learn. In this time, there's no apprenticeship. Nobody get it. So you know what? We'll send some people at Just a second. I think my phone is my laptop. Let me put the charger on quickly. So. Great. Okay. So today is not a long conversation. I myself, I thought it wise to again read the preamble of the Constitution. So whatever I found there, that's what I'm going to discuss with you guys today. And I think most of us need to read the Constitution of Liberia continuously. You could just understand a phrase better than I do. You read, you find a word you don't understand, pick a dictionary, read it, go to the history of the word, and you sometimes just get an inspiration to better explain what the framers meant when they wrote the Constitution of Liberia. But if you pretend everybody, sometimes you talk about constitutional issue, everybody want to discuss it, they feel that everybody knows it. Even those who don't go to school. In fact, Liberia today is so bad up, people are condemning education today. That's the sad part of it. And people don't know education is not the way you think. Education is a giving knowledge. The knowledge you get, if you don't know it, you don't know it. Even I was speaking to you, I'm not speaking like an expert of anything. What I know, that is that I know how to look for information. If I want to study something of the Constitution, I want to first go to the preamble of the Constitution. Do I understand the preamble? So let's go into some of the things that I found in the preamble of the Liberian Constitution. And I think that can give us some understanding, and people may probably get to accept some of the foundational issues. I'm not reading the preamble. You know, you get a Constitution, it's all over the place. You can go and find it. You want to really read it. But the talking point that I got from there is what I'm about to discuss. So you can join us and say what you can say. You have a voice to say something. We don't want to be very specific. The noise in Liberia right now is that whole yellow machine talk. If you check our videos, we said when the 100 years was about to expire, we were talking about the need for the Burkett government to get yellow machines for each of those counties. So the idea is good. Don't get me wrong, the idea is good. But some people said somewhere, maybe they just get information for social media and they want to take action on it. That's not how it works. This thing doesn't even require noise. The same thing about information. Those are the legislature, they just passed the budget. Any amount above $1 million for purchase of machine should have been budgeted. If it is not budgeted, then that's an issue. So all the noise people causing around, so just look at it and just listen to people. It's like they themselves are not even to enact a discussion. You must know the issue. Okay, Buckeye, somebody came on, wherever that information came from, said they bought over 300 pieces of yellow machine. That sounds good. But how was it done? Was it bought by the presidential minister's office? Was it bought by Joseph Boakai himself? Or was it on a budgetary allocation? On which entity? Was it on the agricultural ministry budget line? Was it on whatever, let's say GSA? To say GSA must go and buy this equipment and bring it for the sole purpose of government, agricultural project, or roads, what have you, or on a public works ministry, since there's connection. We don't even know the machines that are right now talk about. But the issue is, whatever ministry or agency, there should have been a budget line clearly spelled out. It means that Joseph Barker was thinking about buying these machines, and it was part of his budgetary proposal to the legislature. So if Joseph Barker did not allocate such a huge amount of money for the purchasing of those machines, then there's a problem. Money, where are you taking the money from? Then the legislature can ask the question. The ordinary people can talk all they want to talk, but the legislators themselves, they all in this cohort, they don't want to even get ready. American, let me say on this show, American has been doing very well in recent time. I'm not a fan of Amara, right? In fact, Amara myself has some other issue. I know maybe you can't even remember right now. On that, pick his own letter and show it and say, Amara, you remember that letter? But Amara has been doing. I mean, that's what that's the power of government. When you want branch of government, you must make sure that the other branch of government works. But people sometimes, when you're doing this thing, people think is about hatred and all of those stuff. We're coming to the Constitution. Like just sometimes when just a second. People have to be realistic with themselves first, and then the government of Liberia. Government is nobody's property, it's nobody's farm, it's nobody's inheritance. The government of Liberia belongs to the people of Liberia. The people of Liberia, the Constitution says they have a right to change the government anytime. So after an election, it is they that's supposed to run the day-to-day affairs through their elected leaders. All right. Let me share this. Those of you who are joining us, you can help us share this video, this broadcast. Yeah. So you cannot sit and pretend about Liberia's future. You cannot sit and pretend about Liberia's future. We can help Liberia to grow. We can build the country before we leave the scene. Again, let me say, I said this on our last broadcast. The purpose of all of us in this world, God created this place called Earth. Each of us that are in existence, that were born, that were created, or that were made, we had a purpose. Until we define our purpose, we had a purpose. So when you find yourself doing something, you must maybe just conclude what I'm doing. Positive things that conclude to say, this is one of the reasons why God brought me here for. So I'm going to do it with all seriousness. For example, Joseph Boca should be saying, well, as old as I am, with all of the struggle, with all of the noise, I became president. It means that God wanted me to do this, and that's why he brought me on earth for. To save lives, to improve the lives of people. To make sure that the nation, this part of God's creation, Liberia is God's creation. So as president, I have to play my role before I leave. But a Joseph Boca cannot perform his role as God, for which God created him. Sorry to say, when he dies, God going to ask him a question. Why you suffer the people? Why you didn't improve that piece of land that I created and left for those people of Liberia? So it's important that those of you who are in leadership, you are challenged. You are under God's command to do the honorable thing. The godly principles for which you were created must be met. All right. So let's go down. Let's go down to the Constitution of Liberia, right? I want to read. I'm not reading, as I said, I'm not reading the whole. I'm not reading the whole stuff. I'm serious. I'm just here, and I want to look at the preamble impact so that you can understand what are some of the things for which our framers decided to build a country called Liberia. If you don't understand the foundation of the country, anything you're doing, you're just fooling yourself. You're just doing it just for what you can get. And that is not the purpose. That is not the purpose for which you were created. You get a job, you think that the money you're making is not for you. That money belongs to the earth. You're not carrying a cent out of this place. Okay? You're not carrying a cent anywhere. So let's go down. Let's go down to the. It's always crazy sometimes to be brought to have the broadcast and then share the video, right? So let me say this. The government is on the shoulder of Joseph Boca and all his officials. If the price of rice cannot be reduced and Liberians will suffer, it's incumbent upon Joseph Boca and his people to get the best strategy to feed Liberians, for Liberians to live a better life. The road condition, it is incumbent upon Joseph Boakai to change the situation that he met. Again, let me say, if yellow machines were brought in the country, it's a good venture. It's a good opportunity for Liberia, for the rescue mission or rescue team to start mechanized farming, if that is what they are intending to do. But we don't want somebody sitting from somewhere because they want to eat some little money. They create a scam. They say, well, we can buy yellow machines and bring in the country. When you have no plan of those things, because to bring yellow machines not altogether, you have to train the people. If you really have a strategic plan, that's it for agriculture. It shouldn't just be, and that's the problem with legislators. The legislators should, if I was a legislator, I would not be arguing for yellow machine. If it's coming good enough, how did you get the money? We're going to ask you. First thing is, I would have picked up my budget and look on agriculture. If this money is in agriculture, if it is not there, I go to public works. If it is not there, I go to GSA. If it is not there, Mr. President must account. There's absolutely nothing wrong for the legislators to call Joseph Boakai to give an account if the money is not allocated. Where did he get it from? But if legislators themselves are not living by laws, now this is the most significant thing. In a country that respects the rule of law, it is difficult to fail. But if you are a disrespecter or someone who ignores the laws of the country, definitely not going to make it. When the law says when money is not allocated, you cannot expand it. Even the president, when he expands money without budgetary allocation, the legislators have all right to call him to answer. For many reasons, even Joseph Boakai can be impeached because of that. If that was the straight line that people in the legislature were taking, all of this thing would not be talking about it. But you said, you yourself, you got your own budget lines, you want to do your own thing, and Joseph Boakai know all of those things. So why would you tell Joseph Boakai? Again, I like Amara Connor's position. Amara Connor has decided to take a real strategic position. If you do that with an intent, I don't know. Because there's big rumor that Amara won't become president. So if that's the reason why you're doing it, no, that's not how to go about it. But generally speaking, Amara has started doing something well, which is he's pushing the line on people, questioning people. Intent. He started with the minister, the Minister of State for Presidential Affairs, where you took money before even taking the position. So all of those things, those are good procedural steps to question the authority or the executive branch of government as to their stewardship. All right. But let's go down to the preamble. That's what I wanted to emphasize today. It's a constitutional issue, and most of you understand it. You can find a constitution and read it. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But I'm not reading the preamble. I took note from the preamble, and that's what I want to discuss with most of you today. So if you're here, you want to share your thought, just post a comment. We'll be glad to add that to our discussion. The preamble serves as giving that opening sentence, how the generalization, look at the Constitution, okay, we are about to create a piece of law that's supposed to serve as the primary law, the organic law of the land. So what the preamble is there for? They put certain things in that preamble that should be understood by everyone. If you are a true citizen of Liberia, you need to understand the preamble of the Constitution. The first thing I saw in the preamble had to do with the preamble begins with asking the question, or not asking the question, but acknowledging the gratitude of God. Gratitude to God. The preamble, the first thing they said, well, after all of the struggles and everything, they acknowledge God's existence. Now, the reason I'm saying this is because that's a big issue over there. And many of you and myself, we pretend like we know God, when in actuality, we have not even decided to study about this God that we all talk about. Maybe the framers of the Constitution knew because of the stress and seriousness of building a country, and from those who came from America, the slaves, they had no other hope but in a divine being. But for most of you who are enjoying the resources of the country, you don't even care more and what the people eat, you don't eat, you getting money from somewhere. You don't care to even ask, who is this God that the framers were talking about? Do you know God? Let me ask you all of that. Do you know God? How does God look like? Who is this God that the framers are talking about? Is this God a Christian or a Muslim? Is he Is he a divine being who sat and gave grace to the framers of the Constitution and said, well, okay, I'm God. I brought you people this far. And only Christians I'm concerned about, or I'm God. Anybody who worship me, I'm for them. Anybody who worship idols, I'm not for you. So who is this God? Have you defined it? Have you ever thought to even expand that gratitude that was given to God? To understand whether you're going to give some weight to this preamble that was drafted by the framers of the Constitution. Because if you do not understand it, that's one foundational issue that you need to know as a leader. Now, there are several religions in Liberia. How do you handle that with the command or the gratitude that was expressed by the framers of the Constitution? Are you going to just be pretending? Oh, yeah, everybody get ready, want to open church. Somebody, when they want to go to politics, so okay, they want to be Joe Weir King, he served as what? The pastor. Prince Johnson, a pastor. We hear Jefferson Koji want to be pastor. Everybody want to be pastor. There's absolutely nothing wrong with being pastor. Nothing. Absolutely. I'm not against anybody want to be pastor. You want to be imam, anybody you want to be. I personally have nothing absolutely to do with you. But there is a divine being sitting somewhere that you should give gratitude to, that the framers did. So if you are opportune to serve in government, that gratitude that was expressed in the Constitution by the framer is still there. You should be somebody who will give that gratitude to God still. If you are appointed as a minister, you should give gratitude to God. You should even have that divine word written on your desk. By his divine providence, we are here. I'm serving as a minister because of God's divine providence. I'm serving as president. Joseph Boyer says he's a deacon. That's what we hear. Does he understand the preamble of the Constitution and have had a serious thought about the divine providence of God that brought him to power? Or does he think it's just because I will say? Because if you don't take the divine providence seriously, the command, the praises, the prayer of the framers of the Constitution, I mean, all that you're doing is in vain. Because when God is not in it, what you're doing, just be fooling yourself. You will just get ready. Somebody just steal every money and do everything, do all this stuff. So the first thing in the preamble is that gratitude that was given to God by the founders of the Constitution. Who were they? Were they Christians? If they were Christians, does that mean that you must negate other worshippers? I say no. A Muslim is a Muslim. A Muslim is a citizen of Liberia. He's a citizen. How you call them? Even among the Christians, the Catholic, the witnesses, the Assembly of God, the Pentecostal, all of those people, everybody worship God in their own way. Divine providence, the prayer that the framers utter. Do you respect it? Do you take that into consideration? If you don't, you have to rethink about it. How are you going to handle the crisis that exists within religion? You have to understand that and you have to deal with it. When I say crisis, I'm not saying people fighting here, there, yonder. But the division itself, the fact that you have Muslims, you have Christians, you have other religions in the country. You have to get to understand how you deal with the situation. Because every one of you is supposed to respect the Constitution and laws of the Republic. If you are a respecter of the Constitution and laws of the Republic, you took oath to defend, there's no reason why you cannot be curious about the divine prayer of the framers of the Constitution. So if you do not understand that, you don't understand nothing. I mean, you're fooling yourself. When you're fooling yourself, you're fooling the nation. That's why the nation has been failing. I'm just trying to identify some of the reasons why this country has been why it is. Somebody say, oh, because, okay, maybe I go to some church. No, forget me, I'm not a holy man. I'm reading what is written. Okay? So that gratitude that was expressed by the framers must be a continuous process because the Constitution is still there. The wordings are still in the Constitution. It has not been changed. I don't want to go into the argument, oh, the Constitution was directed by Christians. That is the hard fact. The Constitution created, their divine gratitude was expressed by Christians. But that does not in any way tell anyone that those who are worshiping God in other form, they should be condemned. That's not what I'm understanding here. What I'm understanding here is God's gratitude. That's what I asked this first thing. Do you know God? Have you ever decided to ask yourself, who is this God? Like a little child will ask you, is there a child? Let's pray. We pray to God. The child, Papa, who is this God here? Now some of you will start telling the child, oh, you are blaspheming. Because why? You yourself cannot explain who this God is. And that's the people want to write in your Constitution. It's in the very opening of the Constitution. The preamble. That gratitude. So the people themselves knew that there was a divine being somewhere that gave them grace, that gave them hope, that gave them a country. You should be thinking the same way. If you can't think of that, then that's a problem for you. And that is why the country keeps failing. As I said, I took some point. I'm not reading the preamble yet. The unity of the people. The framers of the Constitution knew, in fact, when the free slaves came, they met natives in the country. The native people they met there, even though there was a tribal war, there was war, they fought war with the natives and all of this stuff. But when they got ready to draft the Constitution, they said there's a need for peace to reign in the land. So the first I'm talking about here, the divine providence of God, the gratitude to give God, the praises to give God, the way in which to worship God. Do you worship God in that light today? Not just the leader, the entire nation. Or some of you people going to find me to sacrifice human beings, to sacrifice people because you want to get the power. When you do these things, then the curse comes on the nation. Those people did not sacrifice I believe in that they were devoted people. I don't think that's what they did. I don't think they went about sacrificing human beings to build a nation. If any of them did, they did it on their own accord. Maybe. If they did, maybe that's what Liberia is today. So other people come to do the same thing. Talk about election, people want to kill human beings, get human blood, get human this. Until Liberia can sit maybe in the national conference and define what is the problem with Liberia. We all may die and leave our country just like that. Because there's something that's happening in the land. Most of you are not taking note of. Knowledge is fading away. Knowledge is fading. Yesterday, the way the school system was is not like that today. The way people make analysis yesterday, they don't make an analysis today. The way people taught yesterday, the way people were anxious to go to school is not like that. It's not like that today. Things are changing. When other countries are developing and people are seeking knowledge, in Liberia, it's not like that. People are even condemning education today in Liberia. A sad way of killing a nation. The Bible says it. For lack of knowledge, my people will perish. Just go and let firecracker or something is happening somewhere. The last time that I saw, it was Gauteng. When the truck fell, a gas leaking, nobody thought what was going to happen. And people ran there. If people had knowledge, some of them wouldn't have died. But they all started taking top and want quick money. That's a sad thing. When people went there, the explosion, many of them died. Lack of knowledge. I see, even if I don't eat today, I see they say gunfiring somewhere, or there is some kind of an oil leak that I can go get maybe 2-3 gallons. You sell it, get money. You trust me, I'm not going to go there. So all of the little things matter. So the second aspect of the preamble says unity of the people. Now, it's Joseph Boakai uniting the people. Since he came, he took power. I think there's either some form of division than before. Because Joseph Boakai, this is something that people don't do easily. When you take state power, it's not to say we not take all. There were a lot of political gathering. And it just sided when the old man took power. He never consulted all of these people, bring them on board. We have a country that we all are on an obligation to develop. The Cummings, the Uri. Politics is not about hatred. That's one of the major problems that people are having. Politics is not about hatred. You can have all the rivalry during campaign time when it's over. You bring everybody on board. One thing, you must have a clear line. If you are dishonest, I give you the opportunity. When you are dishonest, I will dismiss you and prosecute you. But I bring everybody on board. How you call the ball? Henry Costa, all of these people. That's how the election in Liberia was not because of that one-day election. It came from several actions that brought all of you on board to have an election. Even though things went this way, that way, all of this stuff. But when you win election, that's the time you said, this is the country. So I must embrace everybody and bring them on board. Maybe you call somebody, okay, Yuri, what do you want? Cummings, what do you want? All this, okay, this is what you want, but I can't give you this. These are my key positions because as president, these are the things I keep my eyes on. My finance ministry, my foreign ministry, whatever you take to be those major cabinet positions, you're not going to get an opposition. You say it to them clearly. Other than that, you don't prepare to take it, bring your list of people. I will bring the people into government so that even when you fail in, they all take responsibility. But when ideas come, the country is progressing, everybody feel good about it. But the government didn't do that. Maybe he's going to do it because it's still got many years ahead. All right. So the unity of the people is what the framers emphasize. The framers, what they talk about God first. Their devotion to God comes number one. Number two, the peace of the people. Are you uniting the counties? Prince Johnson, your heart, all your rivalry, all of this stuff. What is happening now between you and him? You can be after all of the rough thing. Pick up the phone. Hey, Prince Johnson, how are you? My man, you the one brought me this far, right? Look, we can't forget this thing, but look, I'm president. You have to understand that. These are my guiding principles. I'm not going to hate you. We're still in the same boat. We have a government, a community in our midst as leaders, but this is what I'm going to do. The law will take its course, whatever going to happen, but hey, you have to understand my principles, and that's why you have to live by. Do what you can do, but as president, I do A, B, C, D. You don't cross any red line of mine. You're sitting your drink over with that. But Prince Johnson, whatever happened, you can't speak to Prince Johnson, Prince Johnson can't speak to you, and all those things happening. What is that? Is that a unity of the peace the framers talk about? No, it's not. The framers intended that even when you have a rough conversation, the end game should be where we're arguing because we want boil water in Liberia. As a senator, I'm arguing because I want the people of Liberia to have food on the table. I'm a senator, I'm arguing because I want free movement. That means be good roads in the country. Mr. Broker, I'm not going to take side with you on that. We passed the budget. This is a budget line for roads. You cannot use this money for anything. It must go for road. So when you speak frankly to somebody and you stand your ground, that's what we call leadership. The what we call God's intervention. God's divine providence was not for people to kind, just take money here, there, at the end of the day, nothing happens. All right. So the unity of the people is number one, and that is on the shoulder of Joseph Boakai, not nobody else. Joseph Boakai can decide to say, you know what? Everybody that got hurt in the election time, I need to have a meeting with them. Tell your presidential affairs minister, you know what? I have no enemy here. Call for the Europe, call for the Communes, call for these people. I want to have a meeting with them. Because why? I have a constitutional obligation that says peace must reign in this country. I have an obligation to control and make sure that Liberians live in peace. Whether Communists want to see me or not, whether Europe want to see me or not, or whoever it is, I want to, how you call the ball, or Costa, whatever they are, call it on the table, sit down. Let people see the leadership on the basis of what the Constitution says, the preamble of the Constitution. But if you don't do that, Mr. Boakai, Mr. President, it means then you yourself, you are in violation of the Constitution of Liberia. That's the hard fact. At the end of the day, you don't even look at the holistic nature of Liberians, educated Liberians, people who are strategically informed, who know how to find information, who know how to do things. You leave them out, you just feel, okay, you know what, you had a fair position. Maybe when you say somebody else pick it up, both take name and put another name there. Okay, so that's the second thing. The third thing is the inalienable rights. The basic fundamental rights of Liberia must not be abused by anybody. The right to free speech, the right to life. How you talk about right to life when people hardly find food to eat? How you talk about the right to life when people don't have medical facilities that they can go and take treatment? Right to life is not to say, okay, nobody molesting anybody, no security, there's nobody that. The right to life. If I can't find food to eat, if I know what, somebody in Liberia, that's all. But me, I'm going to be a real radical person. If I sleep hungry for 1 week, I go into the court. I will sue the government because I don't get a job. And I will tell the court that, Your Honor, for the past 1 month, my household, we are not finding food to eat because I don't have a piece of job. I have all the qualifications, but this government has not created the needed opportunity. So I have come asking you, Your Honor, to compel Joseph Boakai to find me a job. Not just me, all others. Create an opportunity. Companies must be open. All right? And let the court decide. So the inalienable right. The people of Liberia exercise their natural, inherent, and inalienable rights. These rights include the establishment of a government framework. That one they have done that. They elected a government, right? And that promotes unity. We talk about unity already. The liberty of people. How people can have liberty? Peace, stability, equality, justice, human rights, under the rule of law. So all of those things, they are so real. We can't have the time to discuss those things because I would love to discuss each of those things. The framework of government, you don't just create government because, okay, this one at CDC or this one at Unity Party government. Government belongs to the people. When they say the people, they don't say United Party. The people means what? I don't know how many 5 million plus human beings. Government belongs to them. So these are the basic fundamentals. And this, guess what? We're not even going to the provision of the Constitution. This is just a preamble telling you the basic thing that you need to do. You must first devote yourself to God. Pray God, thank Him for everything. Do you know God in the first place? No, you don't care. None of you care. So you know who is the one God we're talking about everything? We're about worship Him. Your little child as who is God, Papa. You want me to pray? How do I pray? You don't know how to tell your child. Yeah, you say you are a respect the Constitution, right? Okay, that's another thing we're talking about. So the inalienable rights, those basic rights that human beings need. Every human being needs what? Clean drinking water. You know what people getting sick? Do you know? I don't know whether there is somebody taking statistics in that country. In most recent time, there are more deaths in Liberia, in my view now, because I don't have statistics, probably than the previous time. I'm not talking about people killing people, I'm talking about people dying, whether for whatever reason. I think even the health ministry should be able to investigate why are people dying. There must be some reason. Are people dying because of what? Illness? What illness is it? People dying because of what? Poor health? Because of what? They don't get any nutritional food? Why? So these are fundamental rights. People must have clean drinking water. The few days were just on the show last week. Somebody get up, they get a reservoir, they start pumping water in it, and that water people start drinking it. Poor people don't have the idea to ask the necessary question. A child who's selling cold water or whatever is like, they get in the street, maybe they even afraid that when they drink one of the plastic bags, they get home, they're going to get some whipping. That child see water running. That child want to drink. Who's responsible? The poor decision that Mo Ali and others have made by putting reservoir up and pumping water through the old rusted pipe from the 80s. You don't get no time to say, well, we'll dig out this pipe because this pipe, they have outlived their usefulness. So we had to get it out. We have to order new pipes and get a system who can even start pumping water through. So you don't care who's going to die. But in this, the sad part of it, when the people get it, they go, some of them marketing, they go and face their plastic bag of water and other things. Maybe you, more Ali, you'll be in the street, test it. Maybe you're saying, you're not even thinking. You take it when you drink it. I don't pray for anybody. But last time I was talking about, we brought John Nemo on this show, talking about lead, iron, some of those bacteria that are embedded in those pipes that have been underground for years, those different streets, the pipes that are there. Maybe after a few years, when people start getting cancer, getting other chronic illnesses, then you start wondering, oh, what happened in the Balaban people dying? You don't even know that somebody poor decision is what lived with the people for years, and then they started dying. It's not just the people. Anybody come from America, even go down to Liberia. You don't have control over the water that you be drinking because guess what? You test it. You can't get water, mineral water from here, carry over and say you're going to live with it. So the basic fundamental rights, these are some of the issues that you all should be looking at, right? The inalienable right, the right that people, the right to live. Every child needs 3 square meals per day. Are you providing that as a government? No, you are not. All right? Opportunity for advancement. Oh my God. The preamble, the framers of the Constitution mandate that there must be opportunity for the advancement of every citizen of the land. You need to do that. How many opportunities Joseph Boga created? How many scholarship is there that maybe it is the CSA, Civil Service Agency, people go and take tests because what there is maybe 100 scholarship at the foreign ministry. These are all flaws. People, as long as it's small scholarship, they find their relative to give them scholarship to go abroad and go study. Do you have a strategic document that will speak to those things? We have scholarship. Okay, we ask everyone to go to this, maybe either a special committee to handle the scholarship. What opportunity has Joseph Boga created? Are there jobs? Are there factories? Companies? Legislators? Are they forming cooperatives? Are they doing something that Liberians can get job from? You know, I told myself, you've been in government for more than 15 years, there's absolutely no reason why you should be in government. You should be a creator of a job. Like you go to the legislature, somebody sit down as Secretary of the Senate for hundreds of years, not even that person doesn't think about even going to school. Other people waste their money. Other people come abroad, get other country resources, go to school. Then you get one person sitting and play. No change of idea. One person. What kind of country is that? Who does that? You get to somebody, that person here, oh yeah, the person stay under the die. There's no other idea. Even those who go to school learning new idea, no, you don't get time for that. But you put somebody in a position, that person must stay there until they die. What's the essence? What's the advancement? So that's one issue. Opportunity for advancement, meaning you don't think about only the safety of the people, you must create opportunities. Opportunity, that's a big definition of opportunity. Opportunity means a lot. Create job is an opportunity. Give people educational opportunity. People go abroad to study. You must have had a better plan to send people abroad to study and return to the country. When they're coming back, you get job for them. You bring in yellow machine in the country. People say we don't know how to drive. Maybe sooner they're going to do machine going to be killing people all around the place. So you don't give it a thought. We'll do mechanized farming. How are you going to do mechanized farming? What are the plans? Are you training people? The first thing is you should have thought of all of these things. We bring this thing, we'll have 300. So is it 300 people? Is trained maybe 1,000 people, 300, maybe the number of people. I mean, all deal should be in the strategic document. Those are opportunities, right? Harmony and fraternal love. That's another soft part. So when you're making sure Liberians live in peace, they will love one another. Like you see what Israel is doing. You see what the Ukrainians are doing. They are fighting for their country, love of country. They see their country as an opportunity, an obligation placed on them to defend their land. For God in heaven's sake, let's say, God forbid, there was some crisis in Liberia. Do you think Liberia can stand and say, well, we will fight against the enemy forces? No, they will not. They won't find shit to leave that country because somebody feels that I'm not going to die for anybody to come and enjoy my sweat. So that love, how are you going to handle it is why you must be strategic. Find a peace conference, find other opportunities, find other means, consult, get people to brainstorm and get ideas as to how you handle this quote-unquote fraternal love. When Liberians can see themselves to be united and loving one another, then you get a force to do anything you want to do under this sun. But if government behavior is not encouraging citizens to love one another, are they going to love the country? No, they're not. Give people opportunity, the love will flow. But these are the words of the Constitution, the preamble of the Constitution, not even any provision here, just the preamble I'm looking into. So you have an obligation to live by these things the Constitution is speaking about. You can't do it. I mean, you're not supposed to be president. You're not supposed to be any official in government. Okay? The fraternal love is just there, every nation. And I think Liberia has semblance of that. That actually should have made. Liberia, when they meet outside, they're curious about one another. But go deep into them. And sometimes you will know Liberian people. I saw one lady, my God. I don't know. Facebook can always block intelligent comments sometimes, and I see people on Facebook. The other lady, I don't know where she come from. To God, even if somebody will offend her, for a woman, an adult, to get on social media and start cussing in that form and manner, it's not just shameful, but disgraceful to generation. Nobody should do this kind of thing. Even somebody get annoyed, so they just keep quiet and go. When I saw that lady cussing, even Provokey did something to somebody. Provokey, he's known for his thing. But you, woman, now to get on social media and talking all that kind of stuff. So now I ask myself, where is this country Liberia going? How do people, everyone, this is one thing. Like some of us who came here, we started to go to school, right? You don't know the little mark we make. We represent Liberia somewhere, somehow. If I can be teaching another national, the first thing is they want to know my background. And I told them, I'm from a little place called Liberia on the west coast of Africa. I left Liberia's name in someone's mind. But what if it was the opposite? Maybe I was there cursing people, doing other stuff and one of those things. Or I get on social media the whole day and just You know, that other woman, Facebook was supposed to ban her, but they wouldn't. I posted something one time, I think that was what Joseph Boga's speech, and I caught a piece of that, and I posted, and on Facebook said, I know you have to listen to this. I caught Joseph Boga a piece of his broadcast on VOA, and I posted it. And this guy is telling me I'm in violation of Facebook, blah blah blah. I just want to say, are you kidding me? This is what you're talking about, you know? So again, I'm just saying this thing. The issue of Liberia, it should be a matter of discussion, and the way it should be discussed. Those of you who want to call national conference, you don't do this thing because you want to take glory. You must do it with a mindset of want to set a foundation for others to come and follow suit. You don't do it because you want people to praise you. And that's a sickening issue here. People do small things, they want praises. Yeah, the same thing, the job we are kind of government, the first thing they want to be a statue. Where is that statue today? Where's that statue? Where how you call it? David Koti? Where's that statue? No meaning. That statue just divine. No meaning. Resources wasted. So the same thing happened. Joseph Boga do something, people who should even think twice and give an opportunity to discuss and brainstorm and disagree with the president and tell Mr. President, this is my piece of advice. Some of them, let me say, yes, sir, yes, sir. Oh, gee, this one go. Oh, yeah, we can do that. Oh, yeah, your name. People will be pressing you for, you bring yellow machine, people will press you for it. You don't look at the circumstances. How much the cost of the yellow machine? Is it budgeted? Is it timing? Do we have people to train to do this thing? When you ask other questions that Joseph will answer you, then of course you say, okay, Chief, I think you have something, but this is my view here. That's how leaders will succeed. All right? So, the last thing I have on my list is for obligation to promote African unity and international peace. That's another sad thing on Joseph Boga. There's war going on. When Joseph Boga started his annual message, right? I was watching to see whether the old man had an international sympathy for the war that was being fought in Ukraine, to the point where he would have said, Liberia, we don't have all the resources, but we stand this. How will you talk about international peace when you yourself, your own country, is not on the path of peace? And these are the constitutional voice. This is the preamble of the Constitution we're talking about. So our conversation today is not about wanting to be so specific about yellow machine or talking about anything extra here. Here, if you do not understand the foundation of the Constitution, then you don't understand the foundation of the country. Then I wonder how you came to lead. I'm not talking about Joseph Boga alone. Joseph Boga is way to the top. All of you, ministers, directors, wherever you find yourself, if you do not understand what the preamble is all about, how then can you understand the foundation of the country that you profess to lead? So, ladies and gentlemen, that's how we come to the close. Maybe we might discuss somebody is saying their house got burned today. Tuwe Tamba. Please, we need your help. Our house got burned today, and we don't have anywhere to stay. Wow. You see, so there is Tuwe, right? Tuwe, I hope I'm pronouncing the name right. Tuwe Tamba. There is a national relief service. Sometimes you just take that number and call them. They should have means of helping the kind of situation. The thing we're talking about here. So individuals will not be able to give you all of the help. If your family got heartbroken as a result of what you're saying here, it means then the first group of people you should get to, my dear, is there is a budget line for an institution that's supposed to be able to disaster relief services. They should be able to give you some assistance. Especially, you just need to tell, maybe get some little guideline, get some little photos or whatever thing. Sometimes you all need to keep challenging the government. It's sad, but I will urge you to find the entity responsible. And sometimes that's how you go about doing some of those things. You go to the entity, maybe you take a photo, you get a video, you go to the entity and say, look, my house got burned yesterday. I don't have nowhere to sleep. I don't know how many of you are in the house. Maybe all surrounding houses. You're posted together. You'll go there. There will be means that people can provide for you all. But it's saddening. We sympathize with you, but we hope that the relief services, the government arm that is responsible to cater to your situation, will be able to hear some of your voice and come to your aid. All right? As an individual, I will get in contact with you, try to see probably what to do. For myself here, I'm way on this side here, right? And the stress here, I don't want to take my own stress. But that beside the point, we'll see what maybe even just one couple rest, something we can do that, right? But that's the situation we all have. When you have a country that is seeking after its citizens, when this kind of situation happens, instead of you running the people will run to you. The government entity responded would have sent people to your house to find out whatever happening. If your house got burned, there's not a secret. Any house that got burned in Monrovia, people will definitely know. Then the government agency responsible should reach you and contact, okay, where are these people happening? If the police people came there in the first place, they took note of everything, those people who got harmed, or those people who got killed, whatever situation happened, they take the record. When they take a record, I don't know what police will do. When the police take the record and know somebody don't have a sleeping place, the police themselves should forward that report to the agency responsible so they can provide an immediate assistance to those citizens who are heartbroken. That's what we talk about. A good country, a good leadership. All right? But until then, that's how I want to come to the close of today's program. Those of you who have joined us, we want to say thank you so much for joining us, and you can share the video. Those of you who will find the video later, you can make a comment. We'll still be glad to be part of the conversation. It's all about Liberia. Okay? Why continue to change governments in Liberia and no better life? Somebody has just got burned. They don't have places to stay. According to information, assuming our information is correct, can the entity responsible reach out to her? Has the police recorded the information? If they did the police make some reference to the entity responsible? Well, until next time, that's how we come to the close of today. Okay? That's how we come to the close of today. We hope that we'll be able to keep the discussion going so that those who are in government can do the best they can. Thank you so much, and then have a pleasant and a wonderful night.